Hi everyone, welcome to a new video about my adventures in hunting for Comet A3 Tsuchinshan-ATLAS when it was in the morning sky a couple of weeks ago. It's around 6:22 in the morning. The comet has risen. It should be about 3 degrees above the horizon. I'm looking at the moon and it should be directly underneath the moon all the way down to near the horizon. I don't see anything, but as you can see we have some clouds, so that might be a part of the problem, and also maybe it's still not bright enough to be seen with this type of dawn sky. I came out here around 6:11 and I looked around. It was still pretty dark. You could actually see the dawn sky, the colors starting to come up, and I couldn't find anything. I used my binoculars and I took even some test shots and I couldn't see a comet. So maybe if I load the photos into Lightroom and zoom in properly, then maybe I might see something, but I'm kind of doubtful. I used the moon this time as a guide. The comet's supposed to be directly underneath the moon, and I was looking there and nothing. So, no luck. And as the days progress, as the moon starts to turn into more of a thin crescent, it'll be harder to use as a reference. And there aren't that many bright stars in this area to be able to use as a reference as well. So, at least with this kind of sky brightness. So the comet's still not bright enough, and maybe we do have to wait until the middle of October when it's in the western sky. Okay, so I'm heading out. I don't know if I can be seen in here. Gosh, it's so early. I can't even think straight. But there are some clouds, some low clouds, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to see this comet, but I know that I'm going to completely regret it if I don't get out of bed and look for it in case there's like a window. There's a small break in the clouds just where the comet should be. So, you know, I'm headed to the lake because I think that's my best chance for being able to view this, at least, you know, through the as it rises, when it's low on the horizon, and then getting up to like 3 degrees or so. I think by the time it reaches 3 or 4 degrees, that's when the sun is going to start washing things out as it starts to come get closer to rise time. So just headed 6 minutes away from home, and I'm really hoping this will work out. It's 5:41 in the morning. The comet rises, I think, around 6:10. The moon rose already. It's a very, very old moon, so super thin crescent. No, 28.6 day old moon. I'm not sure if I'll be able to catch that. That would be amazing. So if I can catch the comet and the moon at the same time, that would be amazing. But that's like the best case scenario. So the worst case scenario is that I lost a ton of sleep, and it'll be completely cloudy. But I'm trying to be positive here. Okay. So there's a beautiful moon, and you can see the clouds on the horizon. Here's the setup. And so far nothing, because I guess the comet hasn't risen yet, has it? Let me just check. Okay, so here's the comet. It's about 1 degree above the horizon, and there are clouds in the way. But for framing my shot, to make sure that I have it in view, I'm gonna make sure I can see the moon right now. So if I put the moon on the edge of my 100mm focal length, then the comet should be in the field of view. So that's gonna be my guide, because I can't see anything right now by these clouds. So as long as I keep the moon in the frame, then the comet should be in there somewhere. Okay. Well, see some clouds along the horizon here, so I'm just really hoping that they move. Comet should be right there in the center. Or not in the center of the frame, but okay, wait, here, somewhere there. Okay, I'm watching these clouds move, so I'm just hoping that they will move fast enough for me to see it before it gets washed out by the sun. Well, now that the comet is high enough, the sky is too bright to see it. You can see the sun is already starting to come up, but there's a beautiful old crescent moon, and I'm going to try to take a picture of that today. So that would be my consolation. And I was really hoping that I'd be able to see the comet because of the low clouds. They look like there were enough breaks in the low clouds that maybe I'd be able to get a peek at the comet as it was coming up. But unfortunately, it just held still, held steady, and the sky just got too bright for any views this morning. So I was waiting out there for a good solid hour, and then I decided, okay, I'm going to take pictures of the sunrise, and ended up that at sunrise time the clouds just completely filled in and no sunrise either. So yeah, it's a shame, but I mean, I'm really hoping the comet will put on a really nice display when it becomes an evening object. So it's 4:57 in the morning, and I'm on the highway, and my goal is to find this comet in the morning sky one last time. So this is my third attempt, and I'm hoping it won't be my final failed attempt. I hope I will actually catch it this time, but if not, I'll just wait till the middle of the month when it's in the evening sky. So we shall see. It's very painful waking up this early in the morning. I can't even get my thoughts together. But I'm going to Hamilton Beach. This is right alongside the Hamilton Skyway Bridge. And a couple other photographers might be joining me. And the plan is to try to get on site before the comet rises and start taking pictures, and hopefully the skies will be dark enough that maybe at the very least we'll be able to see the tail rising before the actual comet, because at this point so many of us have had almost zero luck in catching the comet in its entirety because of how far north we are. And combine that with the fact that it's very low in the horizon and so close to the sunrise time that it gets washed out very easily. It's definitely nothing like Neowise was in the morning period. Neowise was plainly visible in the morning sky, and then beautiful, amazing when it was in the evening sky. So, I mean, we have to manage our expectations with every comet that comes by. People will, there'll be a lot of hype on the internet saying this will be the greatest comet ever, but from what I've seen so far, comet in my lifetime. From the pictures that I've seen, I think Comet McNaught probably is the greatest so far. And unfortunately, I don't live in the southern hemisphere, so I didn't get to see Comet McNaught. Comet Hale-Bopp, now that was pretty incredible, because I remember I didn't even have to look for it. I was just driving home, and I looked to the side, my side mirror, and there it was right outside the window, and it looked pretty big. So pretty big and bright. I'd say Hale-Bopp was probably better than Neowise was. And then there was Comet Holmes. And Comet Holmes, I just feel, is completely underhyped and under appreciated, because that was pretty unique. It was like a white ball in the sky, and even under suburban light pollution, you could see it straight overhead. So yeah, it was it's one of those comets that I think people just didn't really appreciate, and I'd say that would be number 2 after Comet Hale-Bopp for me in terms of amazing comets that I've seen. Oh yeah, and there was Comet Hyakutake in I think it was the 90s, early 90s. No, yeah, mid 90s, because I was in university then. That was pretty amazing as well, because I went out taking pictures of it, and I didn't even know what I was doing. I just had a 50mm lens and just pointed up and had a beautiful long tail. Hardly had to try. So, and then Comet Neowise, I'd say is afterwards, after that point. So we'll see what this comet brings to us when it becomes an evening object. But so far, I'm not super confident that it's going to be an amazing shower. But I have nothing to base my opinion on other than the fact that I can't find it in the morning sky, which isn't a very good point of reference because we're so far north anyways. Okay, so on my camera frame I can actually see this star in Leo, and it's a double star. It's a magnitude 4.5, and I could see this in my frame along with these 2 stars here. So that's my guide, and you can see it's very much into the murk, and the comet is still below the horizon. But let's see if we can see this on the camera. I'm going to take one more exposure here and switch to the camera view. Okay, after screaming a little bit, we found it. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me see if I can zoom in. Right there! Finally!
That is so awesome.
Oh my gosh.
At
At least we know now in the future we can actually see down to less than a degree.
We can see right to the horizon.
As long as it's magnitude 2 or so. Honestly, I didn't think so either. I was losing hope.
To get that big long tail.
I know. It was I don't know how lucky we'll be.
Dream on.
So there it is. It is so dim. It's about not even a degree above the horizon. Crazy. So it's 6:29 and we still barely see it above the horizon, but it's getting washed out really, really quickly by the sun. Oh, there it is. You can see it in the frame. And sunrise is at 7:19. So it's about 2.5 to almost 3 degrees above the horizon. So I'm here with my friend Anne, and she's taking some pictures as well. She brought binoculars, and we were actually able to see the comet in the binoculars, but not with our unaided eyes at all. It's so tiny, very difficult to find at 43 degrees north latitude. And this is October 3rd. Beautiful location.
All right.
All right, let's go home. Look at that, over 100 photos of this little comet. Well, hopefully I'll be able to do some stacking and get something out of it because it was very small. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for my adventures in photographing this comet when it's in the evening sky.